With this podcast, I wanted to talk to you guys about what is the mind. The reason why I want to bring up the mind is because the mind is where everything starts at. In the stanzas, and when I say stanzas, I'm talking about the Tibetan stanzas, some of the most ancient writings known to man. The stanzas talk about the no thing or the planera. The no thing is what encompasses everything and nothing at the same time. So why did I bring that up when I mentioned the mind? Because the mind is the no thing. What do I mean by that? It's not physical. But yet it is where everything comes from. Thought is how everything is created. Now I know somebody might want to argue with me about that, but let's think about this for a second. It is thought is how you see everything around you. From the chair, the car, the house, the table. All these things started in the mind, in the no thing, in the place where things are non-existent and existent at the same time. The mind is what creates all, or you can look at the mind as the intelligence or the consciousness of all things. Everything that is of matter, right? Everything that is of matter, we would look at it as it comes from a spiritual place. Now, we only consider humans to be spiritual, but truly, everything is spiritual because it started in a spiritual realm. The spiritual realm is the realm of the mind, the no thing, that which we do not see. So when we think of a thought or a thing to create or display or whatever we're trying to do, it all starts in the mind. Everything that you see around you came from thought, the frequency of thought, and the spoken word. But before there was the word, there was the thought. Thought also is intention. Your intention can manifest. We call it body language for those of us that know how to read intention. The mind is everything, to be honest. Your whole being, when I say being, I'm talking about your body, is mind, including everything around you. That is mind as well. But to give you more of an example of your being is being mind, is that when you have let's go here. Let's say you have a pain in your body. That pain is in the mind. And what I mean by that, let's say for instance this is how you know every cell of your body is intelligent, and it is composed of the mind. If light is a feather, right? We all know a feather is very light. If a feather touched your toe or your foot, you would instantly know it. You would feel it. That alone shows you that everything on your entire body is conscious. Your body is so aware of everything that you get goosebumps sometimes when you enter a place and you don't see shit. That is the awareness. Now sometimes we call it aura, but aura is still mind. Your brain and mind are two different things. Your brain is what controls the body. And what I mean by the body, it controls the involuntary portions of the body. The brain controls the respiratory system, although you can hold your breath, but naturally you breathe without thought. That's controlled by the brain. Your blood pumps by the heart. The heartbeat pumps involuntary. That is controlled by the brain. The mind controls the brain plus the awareness of the body. How do I explain that? Well, I explain it like this. The mind controls the growth of the child. The mind is what turns a child into an adult. The mind is what takes a seed and turns it into a tree or a flower, or it turns the seed into a house or a car or a table or a tennis shoe or a pair of clothing. Those are seeds planted in the mind. We grow, or should I say, the mind is what seeks and brings back that in which you seek. The mind can be in multiple places at one time, whereas the body can only be in one place. And I know that made sense. But to take it to a deeper level in understanding say for instance, when you dream, you can dream and be in a central location in your bed or wherever you sleep at. But the mind can go somewhere entirely different. You can be doing something entirely different. You can be living an entirely different life, because the mind is interdimensional. It is not bound by physical laws, whereas the brain is. The mind is spiritual. It is the no thing, the thing without form until you create it. When a thought in the mind is given form by the idea. Now, one time I looked up what the definition of idea. It says an idea is a gift from God. Now, I'm not going to go into explaining that at this moment, but I want you to just focus on the mind. If you learn how to truly control the mind, I've seen people that have been able to not feel pain. There are tribes of people in Africa that are able to regrow body parts. There are people that are able to heal portions of their body, whatever sickness that may be going on in their body, with thought. The mind is so powerful that it has the ability to know all and be nothing at the same time. So to know all and be nothing at the same time, what's a way of looking at that? Well, we can look at it like this. The mind can create whatever it wants, whatever it may be, because it knows all, but it's nothing at the same time. So the mind, you can make the mind see whatever you want it to see. Look at some of the paintings and the artists. The power of the mind works like a magician. Because the mind is able to take nothing and turn it into something. Imagination. To give you some linguistics on imagination and to show you the structure of how words are put together, you have the eye, which is the all-seeing eye, the eye of knowing. Then you have the Madge. The Madge is the magician. Check the spelling. The Magi. The Ation, or the Tion, is the continuing, or the creation. And so you have the imagination. The way the mind perceives, it manifests. I'm going to say that again. The way the mind perceives, it manifests. Now, where does it manifest at? It manifests inside the mind, the no thing. The thing that was nothing, and then you turn it into something with your imagination. Just because what you imagine didn't become physical does not mean it wasn't created. Because you created it. You just created it on a different realm. And you chose not to bring it to this 3D reality, or this third dimension. So where does it exist at? It exists on a higher dimension. They have long knew how the mind worked. That's why they constructed all of this stuff to contain it. Because they didn't want the mind to be free. And to give you the perfect example of this is something that we teach the babies. When we give the babies a color crayon and begin to show them how to color at a certain age. See, at first we just give it to them and let them just do what they do. But when they get a certain age, we begin to construct the mind. We begin to put parameters on it. And you tell the child to color within the lines. When you begin to color within the lines, you're now constructing the mind, or obstructing the mind from being free. You're boxing it in. When the mind has the capability to be everywhere. So I guess you might ask, well, why did they want to construct the mind or limit the mind? That's why they only say you use so much of your mind, so much of your brain. They really talking about your mind, because you use all of your brain. So they wanted to limit the mind to control the abilities that you may be capable of, because you're capable of that in what you imagine. One of the things that's being talked about now is the law of attraction. So, what exactly is the law of attraction? The law of attraction is the ability to create something in the mind, in the know thing, and to have it manifest for you. So, how do you do this successfully? Well, to do this successfully, you have to know what it is that you want. When you know exactly what you want, you can manifest exactly what you want. But you got to first know what you want. Exactly. You got to know exactly what you want. You can't be iffy about it. You got to know exactly what you want. An example of exactly what you want is, well, I want a 3-bedroom house, 2-door garage, swimming pool. I want a pool table, big screen TV in the living room, big screen TV in the dining room. I want a satin couch. I want white fluff plush carpet. I want a black satin couch. I want, it's exact. You got to know exactly what you want. Look at the stuff around you. The things around you would not function the way they do if the people that had the thought didn't know exactly what they wanted it to look like, and they know exactly what they wanted it to do. That's the law of attraction. Because they knew exactly what they wanted it to look like, and they knew exactly what they wanted it to do, it manifests. That's the power of the mind. That extra step is, in the law of attraction, is putting a date on it. Now, I know a lot of people can have manifest this, but they probably didn't quite was probably quite not as aware of what they did at the time that they done it. But I'm going to give you a great example so that you could take that awareness and apply it to all levels of your life. An example of knowing exactly what you want and knowing exactly what you want to do is having a deadline to meet. That's why they put you in, that's why they give you deadlines to do certain stuff. And as long as you keep that deadline, the mind will manifest what the deadline is. So what am I saying exactly? Well, if they told you that you gotta have this bill paid and that was stuck in your mind that you had to have that bill paid by a certain time, you gonna come up with that money because you have set your mind on something that must be done, and it will be done. Or people that have been like artists that are like, well, I gotta do this particular artwork and I gotta have it done by this time. They have it done by that time. They have long known how the mind works. That's why they set things up the way they did. Give you that certain time, you gotta be at that job. And then I know some be like, well, if they didn't give a time, people never show up. Well, yeah, you would if you had the type of job that you wanted to do. Because it'll be something that you love doing. They wouldn't have to ask you to show up. You would just show up because you finna do something that you love doing. But because they have restricted the mind, it's so many of us doing stuff we don't want to do. And so we doing a lot of stuff just for money. Because they have made the mind believe that money will bring you happiness. Controlling the mind. Just like I talked about in What's Magic. What's Magic is all about mind. The whole episode is about the mind. So this no thing that encompasses all things a lot of traffic out here today. That's the problem with being out here in these streets, you know what I'm saying? Bringing you this gossip. You get a lot of traffic like that out here in the daytime. So the mind is this powerful thing. And the mind is what we need to become more aware of. We need to begin to become aware of the mind. So what are they saying now in this new age of thinking? Well, they saying you need to meditate. Meditation is looking in toward the mind and beginning to understand how the mind controls everything around you. The mind, this great thing, which is truly consciousness, is awareness, being the magician. The mind is the creator. The mind is the creator of all things. Somebody once asked me, well, what does God look like? I say, well, God looks like a man. They said, well, you can't say that. I say, well, why not? Because God can't look like a man. Well, I said, it says man was created in his image. Then he must look like a man. But the creator looks like nothing. They have never given a description of the creator. Because you can't describe it. You can only talk about it. You can't say the creator looks like nothing because the creator look like all. The mind is the creator. And all our minds are connected because they're all from the creator. And everything you see was created by the mind, which is the creator. And not only everything that you see was made by the creator, but everything that you don't see as well. Because like I mentioned earlier, everything that is created in the mind does not manifest in this third dimension. But it was still created. It's just on a higher dimension. Now, in learning what you've just learned, you should begin to think differently, because that's the purpose. The purpose is to give you the awareness of what you are. You should no longer think of yourself as a human. You should from now on think of yourself as the creator. The one that is everything. And nothing at the same time. Because the creator has the ability to be both. And it is both. I think I'm going to wrap this episode up of Gossip. You guys, I think I've said enough on the mind. Think about it. Go back and listen to it. Take it in, because it's important that you understand the concept. I try to bring you guys principles. It's the principles that I was taught in learning martial arts. From the principle, you can create anything, but you must first get the principle. All martial arts, and I have to go with martial arts because martial arts teach you so much. When you got a good teacher, a great teacher, let me put it this way, a great teacher would focus on teaching you principles. Because the principle, if you get to understand the principle, you can create anything you want from martial arts. You can create anything, any block, any kick, any whatever you can create everything from the principles. So this is to go back and listen to What's Magic. Go back and listen to this, because I'm trying to give you the principles. Take these principles and begin to create. Get outside the lines. Stop being bound, because you're more than just a human. You are the creator. I love you. Gossip.